Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Muston, to the Akim and Akwat, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding out in sincerity and in truth, to the gospel of the Lord Amashak Yahweh Shai in these days and times, this B'Namanasha DC camp. Short lesson for the hopeful elect, and this lesson is just going to focus on the excitement, among brothers that they see certain aspects of prophecy, being highlighted, and in the news cycle, all right. And it's just part of things you have to look forward to. You just have to be patient in the spirit. There's no need to be in a rush, with breaking news. That breaking news mindset, you don't want to have that. Your job is to be patient in spirit, all right? You have to watch diligently and circumspectly. So you just have to learn to wait to let the dust settle before you start making any posts. Is one thing we always like to do. You have to examine the matter, and when there is no clarity, you still have to wait. Okay, you just focus on a lesson that's much more concrete than putting out false information. You don't want to be misled by postings you see online, so you just have to be very, very cautious. It's very embarrassing to be making a lesson with false information, and all of a sudden you get taken for a ride. So you just have to learn to get off that roller coaster mindset, man. You don't want that to be part of the ministry. You shouldn't even be part of the lesson. Okay, that's just a small talk conversation. So you just have to learn to hold your horses, right? So focus on the book of Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12 is going to be the point I need to raise up. All right, it says, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. So just understand that you know that you have to allow the words of the Lord Amashak Yahweh Shai to be, to minister unto you. The Holy Spirit has to minister unto you, so you have a better idea, you have a better view of the big picture, and you understand how to put the puzzle pieces together. All right, so it tells you that your hope in the Lord, man, is not something you take for granted, and it comes with certain conditions, man. Yah Bashim Shai talks about the wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. Okay, so you still have to wait for certain aspects of prophecy to come to fruition, and you have to learn not to winnow with every wind, man, because there's so much information going on out there that is so misleading that people are just posting it just to get their views and thumbs up, and you never know who's getting paid by all these for ad revenue. So that's why it's very, very important to just learn to focus on the scriptures. Teach what you know. That's exactly what the apostles always say, teach what you know. So I read again, Proverbs 13, verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick. So when you know that, you're delaying, there's a delay in the aspect of salvation. That's the mindset. Some people think, why is the Lord taking so long? The thought the Lord says is going to come this time of this season. A lot of people start to lose hope, and they get sad and depressed, and they begin to, fall apart. It's just some of the things you realize in this ministry. Some people cannot make it to the end, man, because their faith is not that solid. It's not built upon a solid ground, right? Its course has deviated from the plan, all right? Then it says, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. So when you see the key principles of your faith aligning with prophecy, then your countenance changes. Your countenance changes, and you know that it's something that you've been hoping for and working for all this time. Work. Yeah, you have to put in the work, man, to strengthen your faith and your hope also, man. You can't just hope without putting in the work. All right. But he that feareth, actually, I just leave it like that. It is a tree of life. So it's a beneficial experience. You benefit from being patient in the spirit. You understand what's expected of you, and you know that you have a limitation to what you can say and what you can do when it comes to the preaching of the gospel, when it comes to making your lessons. All right, there's a certain standard that you are aware of, so you just learn how to abide by that. So another precept will be from the book of Psalms chapter 53 and verse 6. What does it say? It says this: Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when Elohim bringeth back the captivity of his people. All right, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. So what we're looking forward to is the salvation of our people. All right, looking for the deliverance of our people, and it's one thing that we've always waiting upon the Lord, because He's the one that is coming with a healing in His wings, man. Brothers are getting tired of being depressed. Depressed on a daily basis, man. Depressed and oppressed. Those are two bad combinations, man, that you want to be far from your mindset. So the Lord has already given you the tools that you need to stay above depression and to learn how to cope with oppression. So you know that you're in captivity. So you understand how to practice the simple basic principles of how to manage your struggles, man. You just don't fall apart because you're oppressed. You just don't fall apart because you're depressed. So you just have to learn to tap into the spirit, and you already know that whatever you're going through in this world is nothing compared to what you're going to gain in the kingdom. So what are you depressed about? All right. So we go again to another precept. It's going to be from the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, and verse 10. This is what it says: Rejoice with Jerusalem, and be glad with her. All ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her. All ye that mourn for her. So when you're sighing and crying, that's basically like you're hoping for a better condition, man. When you understand that our people can do better, but they have to keep on struggling, and being the butt of all the jokes around the face of the earth, it doesn't sit well with your spirit. So what do? You just pray that you don't become a byword in the news cycle of Esau, that you do not become an agent of misdirection or Judas goat. You don't want to be that Judas goat, man. in this ministry. All right. So you have to, put that prayer up to the Lord that you do not want to be a distraction to the brotherhood. You want to be an investment. You want to be a servant. A minister that's willing to care for the flock. Yeah, that's one thing. You always pray that the Lord blesses you with the courage to shoulder the burden, of the brotherhood, okay, of this ministry. So it's a special calling. You just have to accept it with grace, and you don't have time to complain. You might vent, but you just have to understand that it's a honorable calling that you have to live with. Just like your election, your calling and your election has to be made sure. Then you have to prepare yourself, for the encouragement. All right. Prepare yourself for the encouragement. All right. So it's nothing but a light affliction. All right. So you just have to learn to abide in this path, this narrow path. So we go again, and that those are with you in these struggles, man, that mourn with you, all that, so that will sorrow with thee. They're going to also rejoice with thee when things go according to plan. When things get better, those that are with you in the struggle, at the bottom of the pit, they're able to rejoice with you. All right. So we go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, and then we read verse 31 and 32. This is what it says: "For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged." So you have to have a standard with which you conduct yourself. When you conduct yourself according to a standard that you've already made a decision to judge yourself and to hold yourself accountable, okay? And that's just what the Lord requires of His servant. The servant is always judging himself according to the standard of his master, all right? To basically stick with the job description. When you stick with the job description, you basically, conducting an act of judgment. That's what it is. You always, you constantly checking to make sure you're on the right path. Okay? And then verse 32 says, when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord. So there is a chastening of the Lord you have to understand. It's an encouragement, okay? The chastening of the Lord is not to destroy the hopeful elect. It's to boost up your morale. It's to help you fine-tune your focus in the Spirit, that we should not be condemned with the world. So that is exactly what you have to remember when there's chaos upon the face of the earth. The Lord knows that chaos has to be brought upon the earth to separate the hopeful elect from the rejects. So you have to learn to remember that, man. Calamity is to separate the righteous from the wicked. So if this calamity does not happen, how are you going to be able to separate the wicked from the just? So you just have to pray that you do not get misled by these deceptive trolls, man, and you get the best out of you. You don't want that, man. You don't want anybody to get underneath your skin in this ministry. That's why you have to have a tough skin. The Apostle Gabar said it best. You gotta have a thick skin, tough skin. You gotta have that dragon skin. To deal with this ministry, man. Basically, your mindset has to have that dragon skin, the layers of a dragon skin, all that, man. So it's layers upon layers upon layers. All right, that's so much of the negative effects of this world does not break your mindset. All right, so you don't want to be broken. by the world. All right, the world is constantly, attacking. So you have to learn how to repel those attacks by, shoring up your defenses. So we go to the book of Sirach, chapter 14, and then look at verse 2. It says, right, blessed is he whose conscience had not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. So that's why you have to remember these simple precepts. All right, blessed is he whose conscience has not condemned him. All right, when undergoing the chastening of the Lord, you don't have to, fall apart because you missed the point, or you didn't do it the way it's supposed to be done. So you just have to know that you have another opportunity to get it together, and then you move on from there to get it right. That's why you call practice, man. Rehearsing the righteous acts. And who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord? That's what it is. You do the best that you can. All right, it's a repetition. It's a repetitive cycle. You have to keep on repeating the steps until you're proficient with it. All right, that's what it means to be perfect in the spirit. All right, you have to practice those spiritual exercises. Okay, now we go again to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, and then we look at verse, let's see, might be one of my favorite precepts I haven't really looked at. Let's see. Yep, so this is just what it is, man. It's basically the struggle that you have to remember, man, how the Lord looked out for us. So you always know that the Lord always look out for you. And that's, recalling how the Lord was able to give us water, out of that rock. When our forefather Moses had to, tap that rock, in a disrespectful way. It's basically a bittersweet experience, but nonetheless, the Lord still looked out for us. All right, so you could read it. It's a reboot, but at the same time, you still get chastised. Okay, that's the reason why you have to you have to learn to stay on course. You're gonna be pressed. Okay, and when you're pressed, you get irritated. And that's why our forefather Moses got irritated. So when you have that, that mindset of just holding on, you're gonna go through a process of irritation, and that's why you have to pray that the Lord help you to overcome that. You don't want to snap, and then you get rebuked by the Lord harshly. Okay, and then you begin to get depressed, man, all because the Lord rebuked you. It shouldn't be that way. Okay, you should be thankful that the Lord gave you an opportunity to serve Him, and you have to abide by that standard, man. All right. So yeah, you can read it, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11. But I'd like to also move on to the book of James. All right, chapter 1. Let's see what it says in verse 9. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted. All right. So you know that the Lord is the one that gives you the knowledge and know-how to have an opportunity in being exalted. All right. It's something that has to be done for you to be exalted. You have to meet certain criteria. You have to have performed a task for you to be exalted. So that's what it means. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted. That means you're being rewarded with an opportunity to grow in the spirit according to the will of the Lord. All right. And then verse 10 says, but the rich in that he is made low. All right. So when the Lord puts you in a difficult spot, let's say you were doing well yesterday, you're making it, you're still in the ministry, you're holding on in sincerity and in truth, and the Lord decides to, chastise you, in that, He puts you in a lower position. How when you're without and when you have abundance, you still have to glorify the Lord. But the rich, in that he is made low. So it's not really talking about 2/3 all the time, but you also have to, focus on the brothers in the ministry that go through the cycle of ups and downs, right? Because as a flower of the grass, he shall pass away. So you have to understand that, man. Certain mindsets, are not meant to be permanent in this ministry. The mindset of always having an abundance of resources, that's the mindset of the old man. So the old man has to be eliminated, all right? So when you reach in resources, you don't let your resources dominate your mindset, all right? Your possession is not really you, okay? Your faith should basically be a reflection of who you are, okay? That's one thing the Lord has always wanted us to be concerned about, all right? But the rich in that he is made low, because at the flower of the grass he shall pass away. So you don't want to hold on to things that are irrelevant, in these days and times. So you have to learn how to move forward without feeling sad. All right, when things do not pan out, you just move on, man. Focus on the things focus on the real treasures. All right, the real treasures that the Lord has said he will always allow to be with you. So Psalms chapter 75, I read verse 6. What does it say? For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Is that clear? As the Lord has spoken. Verse 7, but Jehovah Shemashah Bashim Kakadash is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So it is according to the Lord's will. As it pleases the Lord, so shall it be. That's just what it is, But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. That's how the Lord operates, man. He puts spotlight on brothers at certain times in this ministry. Last week it could be you. This week it could be another brother. 2 weeks from now it could be another younger brother. It could be an apostle. It could be 1/3. The Lord operates that way, man. The Lord has to show His power by putting certain individuals in the spotlight so that others can learn and grow spiritually. All right, that's the beauty. The light has to shine. When the light shines, whoever the light is shining upon has an opportunity to live up to that chastening, to the encouragement. All right, because the light is supposed to shine to expose what areas you need to work on and to patch up patch up the torn places in your mind, in your thoughts and all that. Okay, so we move on. Just to wrap it up real quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Let's see what verse 16 says. All right. Okay. Verse 15 says, "For all things are for your sake." Okay, so all things are for your sake. The words of the Lord in the scriptures, the prophecies and the miracles and all that, it's for our sake. All right. For all things are for your sake, that the abundant grace might, through the thanksgiving of many, redound to the glory of Yahweh. So you have to learn to appreciate the grace that the Lord has made available. All right, that the Lord did not shut the door in your face and condemn you. You can't have that type of mindset. You have to have an opportunity of hope. Verse 16 says, "For which cause we faint not." So as you're enduring the chastening of the Lord, you're not fainting. You're not supposed to faint. You're supposed to be lively. Okay. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. And that's what you're going to see among brothers, man. The excitement that some major parts of prophecy are about to take place. Yeah, that's a good feeling. That's a good acknowledgement. But remember, no one knows the exact time, man, when certain things, according to prophecy, is going to take place. Just like Esau always like to start the war, and then all of a sudden it cools down, and then folks are like, oh man, it's about to go down. Well, it's been 5 years now. It's been 15 years. It's been 30 years. It's been 40 years. Folks were screaming World War III, when the United States went into Vietnam, all that stuff. They're screaming World War III, the United States went into Afghanistan, went into Iraq and all that stuff. They were talking World War III, So, the United States just went into Syria, But it's just how it is, You just have to learn to take notes, man. There's nothing wrong mentioning certain events taking place, but you have to know the limits to how far you want to push it, man. Don't push beyond the limits. Just learn to have a restriction. All right, learn to have a restriction when you're preaching the gospel. When you're doing your lessons, learn there's a limit to how far you can speak on certain events of prophecy. You don't want to stretch. You don't want to exaggerate. So that's the point there, Akim. You just have to understand that the inward man is being rebooted, and you don't want to confuse that reboot with exaggeration, and do not embellish. Do not add to the scriptures. Do not add to the scriptures. Just let the scriptures, speak for itself. So, Barataza, you've been edified. Tawada Yabashima Shabashima Kakadash for another opportunity to make a lesson, and hopefully, we understand how to wait patiently in the spirit. Shalom.